guys, welcome back to my vegan kitchen. I've got a great recipe for you today. It's for vegan sour cream made with raw cashews. Now yes, there is a vegan cashew sour cream hack that's very quick. With the raw cashews, you add a little bit of lemon juice, a little salt, a little miso, and it's okay. But this one is not that much more difficult, and it's going to make a world of difference in taste. So let's get started. First things first, this is going to take a little bit of planning. You're going to have to buy a yogurt starter. This is basically cashew yogurt, but we're going to thicken it up into cashew sour cream. So this one is for vegan yogurt, so for non-dairy milks, because we're basically making a very thick cashew milk and fermenting it. It's about $10 on Amazon, but they give you enough packets in here. They give you 4 packets, and that could pretty much last you for the rest of your life if you keep up regenerating the starter with batches. So I have some that I've already had made that's been sitting in the fridge for a couple of weeks, so we're going to use this instead of a fresh packet. So you could keep using this indefinitely and always have that in reserve, but I store this in the freezer just in case. So it does best in the cold, to stay in the cold so that it doesn't deteriorate. But this is a super simple recipe. It's just 1 cup, about. It doesn't have to be exact. That's another very forgiving thing about this recipe. 1 cup of raw cashews and 2 cups of filtered water. And that's it, besides the already made cashew sour cream. So we're going to put this in a high-speed blender. You really need a high-speed blender for this. You could do it in not a high-speed blender, but it would take a long time, because you'd have to make sure this was smooth as a baby's buttock. So we're going to go with the soup, syrup, and fondue setting, because we want this to be super smooth. Alright, that is super smooth. You just want to make sure that it's not too hot, because it was on the soup setting. And if you didn't catch that, it was 1.5 minutes at the high speed. See, there's a little bit of steam coming out, but I think it's okay. So we're going to add the final ingredient, which is the already made cashew sour cream. You're going to want to add between 2 tablespoons, whoops, and 1/4 cup. Doesn't really matter, very forgiving. Just make sure you get at least 2 tablespoons in there. And I'm just going to pulse this to make sure that it's completely mixed. Alright, so now we're going to take that over to our clean fermenting jars. We're going to do this in the Instant Pot. You don't need an Instant Pot to do this, God bless. Because as long as you keep it warm, so if you've got on top of the refrigerator, you could put it. This time of year, winterish though, it's a little bit tricky because the inside temperature is not as hot as like summertime temperatures, so you just want to make sure that it's not going to be too cool. So we're going to pour this into the jars evenly, or you know, you don't have to be too exact, but make sure they're super clean. I'm gonna scrape that out. I'm not gonna waste your time right now, but this is what we're gonna do. I'm going to put it in our Instant Pot, right in the jars. You don't need the jars. If you do it in an Instant Pot, you could do it right in the stainless pot. But I like the convenience of the jars because it's already ready to go. So all you have to do is press yogurt. And that is it. You put the lid on with the valve open. You come back in 8 hours and you've got the beginning of cashew sour cream. So the timer went off for 8 hours a little while ago, and you can see that it's already started to ferment. It's gotten quite thick. There's liquid at the bottom. You can pour that off and when you put it in the fridge, because right now it's a little bit warm, when you put it in the fridge and leave it overnight, it's going to thicken up even more. It's going to separate even more. So we're going to check back in the morning, and we're going to pour some of the water off, and I think from then on it'll be pretty much to go for sour cream. But this also is the basis for cream cheese or a harder non-dairy cheese. So you can just continue to let the water keep draining, and it becomes more and more like a cheese. Alright guys, it's the next day. This has sat in the refrigerator overnight, chilling and thickening up, and you can see that it is quite thick. It is almost like a cottage cheese at this point, but it still has the liquid at the bottom. So if you wanted this to be a thick sour cream or a thick yogurt, you could just scoop out the thick part and put it in a dish and not mess around with the liquid part. The liquid part is good enough as starter for your next batch also. So if you don't eat this, don't throw it out, because that can be used as your starter for the next batch. I make a really awesome tzatziki sauce with this, with just a little bit of garlic, salt, cucumber, and lemon juice. And you can too. Hopefully that'll be an upcoming recipe soon so I can share it with you guys. But you could also take this without the liquid on the bottom and put it into a coffee filter in a dish and let it drain out. Mix it with a little bit of salt and seasoning, whatever you like, some chives even, and you could have a really nice tangy cream cheese, cashew cream cheese. So very simple. Basically 2 ingredients, and then you can go from there with what are the, flavorings you want to put in there. And also, if you like a thin sour cream that you want to pour on something, by all means just mix it up. This is still, you can eat it. It's not that you can't eat it. It's just that people tend to like their stuff thicker, so they don't usually use the water on the bottom, but it's up to you. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. It lets me know if you did or not. Subscribe for more videos like this, and until next time, much love.